Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormy B-Man, and I am live and on the move. Shout out to my brother Junior the Truth. Happy Friday, you guys. I haven't done this in a minute. I'm on my commute, on the way to the grind. And let me tell you something. It is cold here in the Chi, man. Let me say about 12 degrees, and we expecting some of that white powder, that cold, frosty white powder today. So it's gonna be a heck of a day. I don't know, somewhere between 3 to 6. And let me say this. Less is more, regardless of what they say. Less is more. Yeah, so what's good, you guys? We got a big weekend of boxing coming up. I intend to watch something, but maybe not everything. And I just, I took this week off of doing the premieres. I'm finding that with the numbers that I get with the post-fight show and the labors and efforts that I put in for the premieres, the numbers just ain't balancing out. I can get hundreds of people in my post-fight show, but I can't break the hundreds in doing the premieres. It's like, I don't know what that's all about. I know that YouTube has a hand in it, which is what they do, because they got something against the LDBC, but at the same time, I put out pretty much prime content. So, it is what it is. I'll be doing my lives whenever I decide I want to do them. And everything else will be whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to look out for me. Only me can look out for me. So with that being said, good morning. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope that you guys are coming into a weekend where you'll get a chance to enjoy some of that boxing that's out there. I think we got 3 cards. Of course, the card in New York with Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. And then we got, from Puerto Rico, we got Xander Zayas taking on Abbas Baru. And then in the UK, we've got that card where Murtazaliev is taking on, what's his name? Josh, what is that kid's name? You guys help me out. But Murtazaliev, who had been chomping at the bit to get a fight, because there's been guys moving away from him, changing weight classes and everything else, because they don't want that force of nature that they saw in there that walked through Tim Tszyu. And Tim Tszyu is still in a cloud of fog trying to figure out what happened in that fight. But I can tell you what happened. He ran across a buzzsaw. He thought he was a badass, and his performance simply turned out to be bad and ass. Yeah! Josh Kelly, thank you, Hen Dog. I appreciate that. So I'll talk about these fights a little bit for you guys while I'm doing this commute. And forgive me when I got that alarm going off. Let me change my settings so you guys don't hear that every time I get a message. Yeah. But check this out. Yeah, but first of all, let me greet you guys. We got Hen Dog in there first. Antonio MMA, what's good with you, Antonio? I hope you're doing well with what you got going on with your career there. Universal Truth in the building. What y'all doing up so early, man? I thought I was the only one to go to work, I thought y'all was just sitting at home waiting on somebody to go live so you can come in and talk some crap. But it looked like some of y'all might have something going on. Or are you running like Tank, huh? From the po-po, huh? You got to keep your head on a swivel. Yeah! But you ain't going to be able to post no $16,000 bail, though, huh? Yeah. But yeah, man. So, first of all, Murtazaliev and Kelly, huh? Now, if it was Jim Kelly, you could confuse him with the former, Pro Bowl quarterback for Buffalo that couldn't win a Super Bowl, huh? If it was the other Jim Kelly, huh? You know he might be able to kick and punch his way through some things. But I'm going to say this, the color is all wrong, huh? Yeah, so you can't confuse him with him. So, anyway, this Josh, they call him Pretty Boy or something like that. Something to do with his looks, because I guess they claim him to be handsome or whatever. But we'll figure if he'll still be, after he get in there with background. Because background gonna show him a thing or two, huh? He gonna show him some of them old techniques of going upside somebody's head, huh? And you're gonna see why those folks didn't want to get in the ring with him. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Hendog says, my manager giving me a hard time and I can't reach for a different job. Okay. Drew Titan LLC is in the building. He says, why am I up so early? Because they had you on that oxy, bro. You see, Drew, when they shoot you up with them drugs and stuff, you feel invincible, you feel lightheaded, you feel like you ain't got a care in the world, and then you find out that that's not a forever feeling, huh? It wears off, huh? And then you come back to the really real world, huh? You know what that is. You ever see The Crow when dude said, you're not real, man. This is the really, really world. Yeah, huh? So I hope your knee gets better, bro. And when I see you, I come to the New York spot, man, I'll give you a kick in the knee to test it out, huh? And see if you're doing good, huh? If you say ouch, I know you got to still go through some rehab. Yeah! Sensei is kicking it off this morning. Strong, huh? Yeah. But anyway, Bakram is going to beat the crap out of Josh Kelly, according to Dave Allen. If you guys don't know who Dave Allen is, he's that heavyweight from the UK that knocked out Johnny Fisher and got beat up by Makhmadov, the big dude, huh? And they thought they had picked him to beat Makhmadov because he had won a couple of fights in a row and was looking good. He had the nerve to be trying to call out Deontay Wilder, huh? And then he got in there with Makhmadov, and Makhmadov showed him what a real caveman can do. Like Geico, so simple even a caveman can do it. Yeah, he got him, huh? But Dave Allen, man, let me tell you something about this dude. Though he's a big old pudgy dude from the UK, he's kind of like that guy you could see sitting at the bar slamming, pints, as they call them, huh? Well, Dave Allen, man, is one of the best. He's one of the best commentators, or when you ask him to give breakdowns on fights, man, he's one of the best. I mean, he's Teddy Atlas with it, because he tell the truth and he don't care if he hurt them guys' feelings or whatever. And I was just listening to him. IFL TV had interviewed him yesterday, and before I went live, I was listening to it, and they asked him, they said, what do you think about Josh Kelly as he takes on Murtazaliev? All these damn foreign names. He said, just as plain and simple, he said, oh, Murtazaliev gonna walk right through him. And that's his countryman. And he said, and I like Josh. He said, but I think he's in over his head. Boy, you gotta love guys like Dave Allen, man. Cause he's just as plain and honest and sincere. When they was talking about him fighting Johnny Fisher the first time that they faced up, he said, I'm just a fat bloke trying to, make a coin. He said, but Johnny is, he don't deserve to be in the ring with me. He said, I got too much experience for him. So when they fought the first time, he kind of jacked Johnny Fisher up. They saved him for a knockout, but he knocked him down in like the 5th round or something like that. And, the referee held him up and everything. And then they said, okay, they're going to have a rematch. And he was like, I wouldn't do that if I was them. He said, I wouldn't do that if I was them. He's like, that kid don't have nothing for me. He was like, I like the kid and his dad is cool. He said, but he ain't ready. So they had a rematch, and then Dave Allen knocks Fisher out in the same round that he knocked him down in the first fight. He knocks him out. And he said, I tried to tell him, but they wouldn't listen. Man, that dude he's a barrel of laughs, man. But he's so honest with what he says and his assessments. And he ain't got no reason to be filtered. And it ain't like he's profane or anything, but he speaks from a very intelligent place, man, talking boxing. That's why every time I see an interview with him, I turn it on, because I want to see what the guy got to say. But man, he said that Josh Kelly is about to be planted in the turf. And I believe him. Yeah, because I feel the same way. I was trying to find a way to say, well, maybe he could pull a Dalton Smith, but this ain't Sabril Matias that he's facing. This is the dude that is on the post office wall, wanted, huh? It's like you don't want to mess with Murtazaliev, man. Do you know that dude ain't really been able to get a fight since he smashed Tim Tszyu? Because it's like, don't nobody want to face the dude. And he's dangerous. And it's like, when I talked about him going into the Tim Tszyu fight, in my breakdown going into that fight, this is what I said about Murtazaliev. I said he's like 154-pound Artur Beterbiev. That's what I said about him. And like I said, I do my breakdowns and everything, right? I have my I have my my assessments and everything, but don't nobody be paying attention. No, y'all too busy, running after Tank and everything. How you gonna be running after him and the police is running after him? It ain't gonna be nobody left to do anything else in life, huh? It's like y'all gotta find some other shit to do, huh? Like check out STORMYBMAN. I don't understand it, man, really, huh? You might as well turn your TV on and turn it on one of them channels that don't give you nothing but static. You can't even see the picture. It's just staticky, huh? Watch that. That's more entertaining, huh? But yeah, let me tell you something. If Murtazaliev is able to defeat, and I'm, me saying it like that, right? Like it's gonna be a challenge. Hey, they gonna have to play taps for Josh Kelly, man. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's what they gonna play. But listen, if he beats him, Jerron Boots Ennis, your ass is up next, boy. You know why? Because you think you're a badass, huh? In order to show and prove, you got to bring some, huh? And that's the perfect guy. If you go out there and use all that athleticism and talent and speed and the angles and all of that bullshit from Philly, huh? And your dad talking about, get out there and get that sucker, huh? If you could do all of that and beat Murtazaliev, then you might be on something, huh? Roy Jones Jr., when he was at 154 for a very short time, he was out there knocking guys' skulls in to oblivion, huh? And if they want to say, oh, he's like Roy Jones 2.0, whatever, I forget that. But if you want to prove that you're a badass, get out there and fight background, huh? Because that's a legitimate fight for you. And you're going to have to use all that talent, all that ability. I ain't saying you can't beat the guy, but I'm saying that's a true measure, huh? You out there looking for Virgil Ortiz. Why are you trying to chase down a dude who's running from you, huh? Robert Garcia said a few years ago when they first suggested, when you guys were both at welterweight, he said that we could fight him in about 64 months. Huh? That's what he said. Do you know what that's a car length pay, that's a car payment term, huh? When you financing. It's like 48 months. Listen, they don't want no smoke, man. Leave that dude alone. Stop running after him, huh? Stop running after him. Yeah. Antonio says, what, Sensei? He's a guy mentally you have to be ready to face, because most fighters can get in great shape and be sharp, but in a 12-round fight, to be locked in on the game plan won't be easy under heat. Yeah, man, that's true. He says, I saw the breakdown. I was still shocked he went out like that. Man, let me tell you something. I be saying stuff, man, people don't listen. Nah, I refuse to believe Stormy. You know, he just think he know every damn thing. I know I don't know everything, but I know a thing or two, huh? And Murtazaliev knows 1, 2, huh? A combination on your chin. But the thing is, you got to be skilled and have high ring IQ to defeat that guy. He's got a good amateur background. A lot of these guys got good amateur backgrounds. That's why you got to bring more than just a good punch, huh? You got to have something in the old ticker, huh? And a lot of these guys ain't got that. They're very superficial, man. Very superficial. And it's unfortunate because there are great fights that can be made, but there are not enough guys out there willing to take the risks that are necessary to take. You know, that's the only thing. And you don't have to risk it all every fight, but there are fights that you can take that will give you immediate notoriety. Del Rev, what's good with you? I see you out there. Yeah. So, let's see here. Yeah, but so yeah, basically, look at this dude out here running. Big dude, 200 something pounds. Look like he trying to get some road work in or something, or he trying to get to the next donut shop. One or the other. You know, we used to trip out on guys out there we see running like that, like they might be boxers doing road work or something, and we drive past and start yelling out the window. Dun 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 dun. They get mad. They be mad to see me singing a Rocky theme to their ass. Go sit your ass down, man. It's 12 degrees out here. Shit. Huh? Call himself doing road work. Okay. He gonna eat a fat burger later on today. I'm telling you. You ain't fooling me. Huh? Anyway, where was I at? Oh, Murtazaliev murdering Josh Kelly. Yeah, it's a legal murder, man. It's a legal lynching, murder, decapitation, brutalization, all of that stuff. Zations. That's what it is. But we'll see if he's still pretty boy when it's done. I don't think he will be. Yeah. Now, the other one is, oh, Hendog says -2 in Detroit. I don't care about that. You know why? Because you're getting our leftovers, brother. Huh? Our leftovers. It was 3 degrees when I left out yesterday morning for work, man. 3, huh? And I never mentioned wind chill factor. You know why? Because the wind chill factor numbers are so dreadful, man. You can't even face a day if you focus on those. You just better bundle the hell up, huh? That's what you better do. Anyway, Xander Zayas and Abbas Baru. These two guys, I was surprised to learn after seeing Bazaru win the fight that he won to win that title he's got now. I was surprised to find out that they are familiar with one another and have done rounds of sparring. And maybe in the sparring that they've been able to get done, there has been some kind of influence that has given the Zayas camp confidence that maybe this is a winnable fight for them. And it very well could be. I don't know how their sparring sessions went. They don't talk about who got the better of one another or whatever, but I'm making my comment based on the knowledge that they have sparred, and Xander is so willing to get in there with Abbas. But what I saw from Abbas when can somebody look up that kid's name? I can't think of his name right now, that he won that fight. Because he was the underdog in that fight. And he come out there and beat that kid up and broke him down. But when I saw how he fights, I'm like, this guy's got something more than what you see on the surface in him. And maybe in sparring sessions, he wasn't going all out with Xander. Maybe he was kind of like, because you never show your full hand if you're smart. Because that's how you keep getting work, and that's how you keep getting access. And when I say access, I'm talking about people giving you the opportunity to come to their camps and everything where you could pick up knowledge and experience. And see, let's not forget, he's another foreign guy. I think he's one of them black Germans or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, Yoenis Tellis. Thank you, Antonio. I couldn't think of Tellis' name, because I got so much in my mind right now. But Xander, in his last couple of fights, he hasn't really looked great. And that fight that he got his WBO title, I think he got the WBO or Abbas got. One of them got the WBO and the other one got the WBA, I believe. But I don't believe that the Zayas camp is as confident as they try to portray themselves to be. Because remember, Xander is still a young dude. And he hasn't had enough of those fights where you develop and you reach a new level or whatever. You fight a certain fight and you come through, you've proven something in that fight or that matchup or whatever. And so to take a fighter on that you have, Mr. Shelton, what's good with you? Take a fighter on that you have familiarity with because you work with him in the gym, that may not always, again, show that you're making the right move. Because Baru, let's put it like this. Why didn't he fight him before a title was on the line? You see? Because that would have been good experience with someone you're familiar with, and you do that and you X him out so you clear the path for where you're going with your career. But this, they think, is an opportunity to be able to snatch a belt, and it could prove to be a bad move. It could backfire on them. And I got a slight feeling that may happen. Remember, they got Xander. They're planning for him, bro. They got their Puerto Rican young fighter out there, and he's gonna fight in Puerto Rico, and he's doing some things to generate an audience, and they want to paint a certain picture of him. I don't know, because I don't feel that he's been tested enough to really be a guy that, is champion caliber. I saw him do his interview with Roy Jones and Andre Ward, and they were bigging him up and everything, but yeah, he went from prospect to titleist. Sorry. He went from prospect to titleist very quickly without a lot of on the learning curve. You have to be careful with guys like that, because a shock to the system, meaning something that arises that they weren't unexpecting, could always put them in a position to be a little bit not only just discombobulated, but they recognize that, oh, maybe I'm not as good as I thought it was, whatever. It's a blow to the confidence. This is why matchmaking is very important. And a guy should be able to grow from his matchmaking. You know? So, this is the thing about that. If Zayas is really what they think he is, he should handle Abbas with no problem. If Abbas is really who they think he is, he should handle him with no problem. But if Abbas proves to be a guy who's been hungry and now he has an opportunity to show something, it's going to be a problem there. I remember when Livingston Brambo upset Ray Boom Boom Mancini. A lot of people never saw that coming. And I remember when that happened, man, I got me a t-shirt. Remember, well, I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, years ago, and I was in my late teens, they used to have these t-shirt shops that put these monograms and letters and numbers on t-shirts for you. And I used to wear, when I played basketball, I wear number 22. That was my number. I like 22. The deuce. And I got a t-shirt printed up, and I put Bramble on the back of my shirt. I was just so, when he whooped Ray Boom Boom Mancini, I was like loving it. I remember I watched that fight live. I was like, man, this dude Bramble is bad. Well, Abbas Baru has an opportunity to be a new generation version of that. And you can't be dismissive of guys who are hungry. You can't. You got to give them a window of opportunity for the intangible, the unknown, because those guys will raise up to a level that you may not have known them to have. And sometimes, Tay, what's good with you? I see you out there. Good morning to you. Vermeer, good morning to you. Salute. Who else we got out there? Augustine Adu. I'm sorry I missed you earlier. What's happening? Yeah. So, yeah, you guys, you know, when you talk about the intangibles, I don't know what they could be for Baru, but you want to leave a certain space to see if he can operate within. And if he can, Xander could be in some trouble. Unless, like I said, they really know who this guy is because they work with him and he didn't show them anything of a threatening nature in sparring. But did you know if he didn't show because he couldn't do it or because he was holding back? You see, those are those intangibles that my brother, the dearly departed Kurt Sugar, used to speak on. And that is something that should be taken in consideration. I'll give a slight edge to Xander, but I would leave space. Stephen L., what's happening, brother? I would leave space for Baru because he's the unknown factor. You just don't know. And we haven't seen enough or a lot of him. And he has a loss on his record already. But I know what he did to Tellis. And Tellis was the one that they wanted to have matched up for Xander. And it just didn't work out for him, huh? And that's the kind of thing that you have to you consider it was like they thought that they were gonna have this other matchup waiting in the wings. That reminds me of when they sent Oshaki Foster over there to Mexico to take on that little Mexican dude who had been knocking everybody out and hadn't been past 6-7 rounds. And Oshaki went over there, fought the guy in a ring the size of a size 12 shoebox, and he beat that dude up and knocked him out, stopped him. WBC was like, damn. You know? So Baru could possibly pull this out. And I have seen some vulnerabilities that Xander has. And I don't think he's cleaned that up in just a camp or two. And he's shown those vulnerabilities in his last couple of fights. And mind you, when I say what I'm saying, people, don't think that, well, Stormy is just against him. No, he's a good young fighter that's coming up. He's not great. He's done nothing great. Uh-oh, here comes that snow. Shucks. They said it would start late morning. And I'm seeing it already, people. This is ridiculous, man. And this is down here by where I work. Not by my place. I don't live near, where I work is near the lakefront, man. And that lake effect snow, that can be some of the worst stuff. I'm glad I stopped and got me some gas before coming down here, because when I get off work, just in case it's really bad. What the hell? Can't get my key out my pocket. Just in case it's real bad. And I'm driving in a long, traffic, I can get through this. Because when the traffic is bad and your gas is low and the weather's condition is bad, man, that's a bad situation to be in. So I learned from that a long time ago. You ain't gonna get me with that one. Anyway, back to Xander. He's a good fighter. And I was very impressed with Baru's victory over Tellez. So we're looking at something that defines what you want to see in boxing. You want to see if guys can not only just knocking people out is great, but being able to win fights and to systematically break the other guy down and things like that show class. And when I say class, show that you've got great ability and things of that nature. I don't think that Xander has had enough opportunity to do that, because most of the guys that he fought, he was supposed to win against. You know what I'm saying? Those are fights that they grooming you. They're padding your record with knockouts and stuff like that. But Baru, when they put him in against Tellez, he wasn't supposed to win that fight. And he came through. See, do you see the difference of what I'm talking about? And that's what you have to pay attention to. Those type of things. And it makes a difference. Benjamin Harrington, good morning to you. Yeah. So I'm excited to see that fight. And that might be the one that I tune into. Because, the Lopez and Shitty Cuz, I really don't care. I don't care. They could go in there and hit each other and do a double knockout, and I won't even raise an eyebrow. I'll just say, hey, put that shit in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about that. But there are fighters on the undercards of these three major events that they will bear tuning into as well. And that's something that I'm keeping, under wraps. Maybe if I do the Friday night chop session, I can talk about that a little bit and understand that I said maybe if I do it, because I don't know. The support ain't what it should be. YouTube is smothering me, and I'll be trying to tell you guys what to do. Follow me on Rumble and everything, and everybody still standing around with their fingers in the butt. So you can take your doo-doo fingers and you know what to do with them, Lick the doo-doo off of them for all I care, because you ain't doing what you should be doing and supporting Stormy B, man. So you might as well, do something, huh? Doo-doo fingers. Yeah. But anyway, Del Real says, I have Baru winning in a close fight. Could be. Or it could be a stoppage, huh? Baru looks like he knows how to finish. I just want to see a good fight. I really do. And you see, they also tried to do everything they can to set it up for the climate for Xander, putting it in Puerto Rico. He's headlining and all of this. See, all of that is supposed to, you have to look at those kind of things. But Baru has been a road warrior the entire time. He's been always fighting, in somebody else's backyard, and he's been the B-side to the other guys all the time and everything. Hey, this could be his time to shine, huh? Yeah. At the end of the day. So, listen, guys, I have arrived at my destination. I can hear the whips cracking out there. There's a lot of cotton to be picked. And that's why I ain't got my camera on, so you can't see Stormy in the cotton fields, huh? That ain't an image I want y'all to see of me out there like that. Because I'm, them folks with them whips, I'll be ready to whip back. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I'm going to get on out of here. Drew Titan, I see you out there. I hope you recover very well. Give you a couple of karate chops on that knee to make sure it's okay. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. You guys have a wonderful day, and pray for us in Chicago, because this weather is supposed to be really bad. I don't want to see no 6 inches of snow or more before I get off work, huh? And let that happen after I go home, because then I don't have to work on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I digress. Peace to you guys on the next one.